Hi there, Chase from High Level here, and in this video we're going to do a walkthrough of Smart Lists. So you can find Smart Lists under Contacts, Smart Lists, and the first thing to know at this is that this page is really a collection of lists. So by default you're looking at all contacts, which is in itself a list. And then the list that you create will create tabs across here like this. So here I have two lists right now, one called No Name and then the default all list, which I can toggle between by just clicking across them like that. Now the view of each list can be changed by editing our columns. So let's say in the all list, we can see obviously what I can see here on the screen, but let's say in this no name list, I don't want to see this DND column. It's irrelevant to this list. So I'm going to click columns here and I'm going to uncheck DND and we can see that that disappeared, leaving me more room to include the columns that I want to view in this list. Now let's talk about creating a list. To do so, we just come over here to the filters area. We click into it. Well, first I'm going to start on the all tab. I'm going to click into my filters, and now you'll see a list of all sorts of different filters, each that has its own option that you can use to start to create or narrow down a list of specific people. So some useful ones if we click into, so right away, like I can see here that I have a number of contacts here that don't have an email address. So let's say I wanted to work on that. I'm going to click email and empty. Now I have, we can see one page, 20 people who don't have an email address here. Some of them have a phone number, so maybe I'll start calling them, ask them for their email address, and start filling it in. That's just one example. So now let's say I wanted to further filter the list. So I could say, let's add another filter here of, they don't have a last name. So if last name is empty and email is empty, now I'm down to 6 people in this list. To save this list, I would just click on this plus icon here and I would call this no last, and maybe I would abbreviate it, no last name, no email. Okay, now here's my list here. Another new feature with Smart Lists is that you can page through the contacts by clicking into it. And we can see I'm looking at number 3 of the 6 people in this Smart List. And now I can just click and go one by one through the people in this list, which is nice if you're creating a list that's going to be some sort of daily manual action. You can just page through them like that. And then when you're ready to jump back, you just click on the total number here, and it will take me straight back into that specific, into that specific Smart List. Let's hop back to the filters, and I want to check out 2 filters specifically that I think will be useful to understand. The first is the name versus the wildcard name. So if I click first name here, and I know I have a contact called Avril Lavigne, if I start typing Avril, it's not going to return the contact because this is saying give me the exact name. Now, that can be a problem if, let's say, you can't remember exactly how to spell somebody's name or something like that. So what we could do is instead, we could use the wildcard name, and we can type in an asterisk, and then I could just type in AV, and it's going to give me every contact record that has AV anywhere in the name, right? So Avril has it here, Weaver has it here. So you can see that could be a useful way of finding things if you can't remember exactly what you're searching for. The next filter I want to check out in depth is the last activity filter, which can be very useful for a variety of scenarios. So if I select last activity here, I now get the options of more than or less than. So let's say I want to see, okay, people that have done something within the past 10 days. So now we can see here, it returned 1 person. But what you want to make sure you turn on if you're looking for last activity is go into your columns and turn on the last activity column, and then that will show you what the last activity was here. So with this little mail icon, I can tell that the last activity was an email, and if I click that, it's going to open up into that email for me. So that can be really helpful when looking for recent activity, or maybe you want to filter by people who haven't done anything, haven't interacted in a certain period of time, then you can change that filter to more than and then go backwards in time. Like I said, each of these filter options has different options within it. So as you click through, explore them and you'll get to know what you can do with each one. And combining them, again, I can't even begin to think of all the different scenarios that you'll come up with to apply this filtering ability to help you navigate through your contacts and create specific smart lists. Once you have a list of people, you can then action off of it via this row up here. Now, as of filming this video, we're in V1, the first version of Smart Lists. So we only have a couple of options for actions up here, but this is going to expand very quickly in the near future. So I think the most popular one right now will be tagging. So once I have my list, I can go ahead and click select. It'll select all the people in this list, and then I can add a tag, remove a tag, delete these contacts, export them, etc. So I think this is, I just saw a real use case of this where somebody has customers that speak English, some in Spanish. The Spanish people had a tag, but none of the other contacts had an English tag. So you could easily go over here, filter by a tag that, let's say, everybody who doesn't have the Spanish tag, and then they applied an English tag to everybody else in the list or in the view, which was super helpful. So again, this list up here is going to grow pretty quickly, and you're going to be able to do things like send an email to this list, send a text message without having to create a bulk request. Another thing to know is that the lists are in real time. So if I save a list here, this is our no last name, no email. But then let's say I come in here and I give Dan a last name, Smith, I save him, I go back to my list, Dan's no longer in it because now he has a last name. So your lists are going to update in real time, which is really helpful. Lastly, once you start making your lists, and again, they're going to line up across the top here, you can organize them further by clicking settings. And now I can drag and drop the order of the lists. I could edit a list. If I click here, I could rename it. And I could obviously delete a list by clicking the trash can here. So that's a quick update of smart lists. Again, they're going to get even smarter in the very near future, but hopefully that was enough to get you started creating your first smart list.